Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the CQ podcast. This is your host, Batman.
And M94.
So, M94, so you're thinking it's the year 2021 right now. Wow, it's almost, we lived through a year of pandemic. It's just crazy, man. So, we thought we'll do a review of 2020, the second decade of the 21st century.
Yeah, it's been a huge year. Not really productive for many, but it's been a interesting year for a lot of people, I guess. Very different experiences. That's exactly what we wanted to get out. Because how do you process a year like that? Like, never been through that. Like, first time you actually seen a complete change in your normal lifestyle.
Washing hands become a thing.
People had to be taught how to wash their hands, how to act in public, how to stand in lines, which I think Sri Lanka really needs to learn, like standing in line.
Standing in line.
Yeah.
So Sri Lankans need to know how to
Yeah.
stand in line.
Please stand in line to get into the bus or get into the train or waiting in line to be served at a counter. Oh my god. Sri Lanka definitely needs a lot of that. It's definitely been a very informative, very, I don't know, educating year. Like, even personally, um, it started out me being not in this country, so I had to get back. So which meant I had to do a 14-day quarantine at a quarantine center. This was like early periods of the pandemic, so it was in March. So regulations wasn't too clear. People don't know what's happening. It's very confusing. And then Sri Lanka was going into a lockdown. So March madness, literally, but not cricket, but pandemic madness. Uh, so I had to come back on an emergency flight, booked overnight, had to pack all my things, put it away, and somehow make it to a flight.
Stuff is still there, right?
Yeah, so I put it. Yeah, so my friend has actually boxed everything up and it's on the way. So
It's on
yeah, it's on the way. I'm happy about that. A lot of my stuff. I had to leave a lot of things back. I can only box certain other things, which is sad, but it's okay. Uh, and I somehow made an emergency flight back to Sri Lanka. Did 14 days at a quarantine center.
You should tell the story about
Yeah, so when we landed itself, we were put to registration, sanitize, no testing. So in March, there wasn't testing at that time, right? When I got into the country, so I've never done a
just quarantine.
exactly. I've never been through a PCR. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I don't want somebody sticking a huge cotton bud into my nose. Yeah, it's frustrating.
So it's actually it goes through your nose.
It's straight through. Yeah,
No, that's
exactly.
crazy.
To get samples, yeah, throat samples, the culture to be tested. So I haven't done an antigen, I haven't done a PCR, I haven't done any antibody test, nothing. But I'm suspecting I might have had the virus because I've met a friend, like the last time before I left from the other country, I met a friend who had the virus just after I could have had it and I've showed no symptoms because I've never tested. I really don't know.
You beat it naturally.
I don't know. Until I've tested for antibodies, I wouldn't really know if I had the virus or not. But I didn't show symptoms. That's the major, because a lot of people don't show symptoms also. So I still don't know. But eventually, I got here. I was straight away put into 14 days of quarantine. I was
only served the rice.
no. Our food was amazing. Oh my god! Let me tell you. Yeah. It was
a government sanction.
Yeah, government sanctioned, army control, quarantine center.
I heard like people had horrible food.
Oh, people are saying rubbish. Food was amazing for me actually. I was very content with it. I was very.
What did he serve you?
So setting was really beautiful. I was in the mountains, very nice view, at an open park. They weren't very strict about these things, so it was like an open dormitory for the men, an open dormitory for the women, and the families separate. So it was like we had open like access to everything. We had a ground also. So eventually, after a few days, we started playing cricket also. I don't know if I should say that out loud, but it's okay. That's what I experienced, right? I met a friend also who studies the same thing with me, so we're like good friends. Uh, and yeah, the food was on time, right? Like morning 7 o'clock, you'll get your tea. 6 o'clock tea, milk tea. 7 o'clock breakfast, either pan or kiribat or something like that. Then you'll have lunch at like 12:30, like, and 4 o'clock tea again with biscuits. Then 7 o'clock dinner, and then kotamali at night. So you get like kotamali at like 8 9. So from like anywhere from like pasta to like vegetarian pasta, to like fish and kiribat, to like noodles, to like fried rice, to chicken. I've had it all. It's like literally like camp going on like a camp.
Like you get
Yeah, like proper meal. It's like proper good food. Like I don't know, like we have to like necessarily go into like hotels, but then for me, like on my own, I didn't have a problem with it at all. Like
I think it's certain there were like so many
maybe
different
certain,
contents and
yeah, maybe
recipes.
certain camps had like different standards, but that was it was an open bathroom though. The washing area was an open washing area, but they had individual stalls for toilets. Uh, and army was doing everything that they could at that time. It was very probably confusing time. It was all rushed, and but they did a really good job for sure. 100%. The quarantine centers were done pretty well. I have no complaints. Even from like getting to the center to getting back, also they dropped me off with the closest police station. I was able to make my way home. I had to do 14 days at home as well. So no symptoms, no nothing. So I guess I'm clear. I don't know until I test. Like I want to do an antibody test to see if I had the virus or not.
How long do you have the virus for? Like, if you are not showing symptoms.
The incubation period's anywhere from like 5 to 10 days, even 14 days for some people. So you could be spreading the virus and not showing symptoms.
Yeah, so you can only spread the maximum of this virus for 14 days. After that, yeah.
There have been cases beyond the 14 days also. People who have done 14 days quarantine center and then 14 days at home, they've started showing symptoms and developed the virus into a sickness. It depends on the case, but most conditions what new information has come from testing is that within the 10 days, first 10 days, you should probably know. If you don't have it by that time, it's probably a no, you don't have it. So 10 days you can be very sure, 14 days to make certain. Do the test, do a couple of tests to make sure you're negative. That's the thing about rapid tests, it's a bit inaccurate, so you'll have to do the proper PCR test to make sure, confirm. That's the regulation at least. So yeah, it was interesting getting back to Sri Lanka because like I don't want to be stuck in another country on my own.
Oh, that would been scary. And that
Yeah.
country is so messed up.
It was affected pretty badly, and it still is. Still is going through like a third wave and going through lockdown now, so it's major. Um, but yeah, hope for vaccines and people vaccinating. Still not forgetting social distancing and washing hands and masks. Never forget that, but hope for a better.
No, I think like Western Province is pretty relaxed about it, right?
They're very relaxed, but then there's still open cases of people testing positive. There's still a
Yeah, but
community
people don't
spread.
care anymore.
Yeah, probably it's like
ready for a
fatigue. Yeah,
vaccine.
exactly. Lockdown fatigue, then the hope for a vaccine.
Because I like seeing people like it's like people say don't go anywhere outside the Canada. I see people go on trips
Yeah,
and taking pictures.
it's doing right now. A test. Yeah.
Like,
But there's still places under lockdown. Still within Colombo, there's places under lockdown. A lot of tests being done, which is good. Still a lot of people going into quarantine. Still people in hospital. We are bringing in tourists for some reason. I have no idea.
Like the airport is not open, but they're bringing tourists.
Yeah, we're bringing tourists from Ukraine. They are going around the country having a very fun time, while the citizens of this country are not being able to do
Oh,
that.
come on.
Plus, the airport is supposed to open very soon, end of the month. So we're gonna let people in. I hope the regulations are strong enough. There's no funny business going on. But yeah, Sri Lanka
So
is
back to the how was it?
yeah. So 14 days at home and then after that it was lockdown anyway. So at home, for me,
Just Netflix.
uh, yeah, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all staying at home because I'm a bit of an introvert as well. So it's like I don't know. I switch between positions of introvertedness and extrovert. And it's confusing. Like sometimes I have like very rare, very extreme extrovertedness and be nice to people, but then most of the time I just want to be on my own. So it was really not hard to stay at home and doing things on my own, like baking and cooking. I anyway enjoy cooking. So I like cook and bake and do a lot of gardening. So I spend my time at least. Then literally
People were saying like lots of couples who are being quarantined because they're like this period, like there would be a
would have really tested their
yeah,
together.
and they would have like this period of time, like the number of children that have been born, like 10 months would have also been increased. No, what else do you
It's possible.
what else do you do, dude?
Hotel contraceptives? I don't know. Same.
Yeah, so contraceptives also are not very
97%.
So when you have more frequently, the effectiveness of your contraceptive reduces, right?
Yeah, be smart.
That's basic statistics.
I'd be smart about the situation and not try and have kids. Control yourselves. I don't know. Keep it in your hands. But yeah, I guess married couples. Yeah, probably hard. I don't know. I would know. Not married. I don't know. But yeah, there was a lot of I don't know. For me, it was a very eye-opening year. Like really did a hard reset of myself to really focus on what I want to do. I felt like for like a couple of years at least, I've been just drifting, not knowing what to do. So this kind of a hard reset, definitely a privileged year for me. I had food on the table. I had a house over my head. So I was blessed enough to have all my physical needs met. So I was able to think about like life and like trying to consider, oh my God, what am I gonna do with my life? And really try and put into perspective everything that I want to do, trying to figure out, I don't know, God's will for my life. It was hard in that sense. It was hard in trying to figure things out. What am I gonna do with my life? Not in the sense that I'm stuck at home. I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, it was definitely like a lot of soul searching. It was hard at home to try and explain this to my parents as well.
Just from one thing.
Because I was thinking of changing. I don't know what do I say, profession. Not exactly change. Exactly. A slight shift in direction, which
is not understandable.
Exactly. It's hard to understand from a different perspective, I guess. So it was hard trying to get through to my parents because I don't think as a family we generally talk too much anyway. So it's really hard to like put things into words and like try to communicate. We are horrible communicators at home. Parents, sister, me, it's all horrible at it.
Everyone is bad at communicating.
Yeah, but I think our family.
But I try to write, and maybe you should try that. Write them letters. I write emails.
So awkward. My God. I'd rather talk and like get it out of my system than actually sit down there writing. But I find text message definitely is worst way of communicating. Like you really don't see emails are there. You're writing. You don't know how you feel. Yeah, I still don't feel enough connection. You can't see body language, how they react. You can't see anything.
That's true.
Just too much of thought given to that reply. Then if it's like I want to know for reals, like it's okay if it's a bit irrational in the response, but then like really how do you feel about it? Like I want to feel connection when I'm talking to a person. So I rather meet a person and talk than to sit there writing text messages, emails. And if I text message and like email you, then you're pretty special. So yeah, for me, I'd rather sit and talk straight, right in front of each other. But yeah, it's been very, yeah, for me it's been interesting. Yeah, looking forward to new things in the new year. Uh, yeah, lot to look forward to, I guess.
Overall rating for 2020, so it's a
But
video.
it's not, is it the best year I've ever had? It's definitely been the most life changing year I've ever had. For sure, it's the most drastically changing of years.
For the good, I think.
It's definitely good. I'm very optimistic about this year, about 2020. Is it the best year I ever had? Probably the year I was born. Probably was the best year, but then I don't know much about that year. But I imagine the gift of me to the world.
Yeah.
But maybe my older year was pretty fun too. But then school was hard. I
I didn't have a special. Like when I look at it, I never had a special year.
know. Yeah,
Maybe the like based on the I'll say that.
maybe 2020 is like that year.
Yeah, because it's such a rounding number.
I
Also.
know.
It's like
Yeah. And then like I've grown up enough, like I think I'm a little bit mature than I was when I was 16 to know, okay, there's consequences to my actions. A lot of things happening.
oh yeah, we were 16 when we entered 2010, right?
Yeah. 10 and 6 and even the tsunami. Oh, I have a really cool tsunami story also. 2004. Survived the tsunami. I was down.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You told me this. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, probably 2020 year has to be, yeah, has to be number one, I guess, for me.
Cool.
Big consideration, but yeah, 2020 is number one for me because there's, yeah, a lot of things happening.
Yeah, I would say.
Good things happening also.
Yeah. Okay. Lots of good things.
A lot of good things. I will disclose later, but yeah.
Okay, so for me, also 2020 was a very life-changing year for the good, I think. But earlier, so I quit my job in December, so I was pretty jobless.
December 2019.
I quit my job until 2019. Yeah, so January, so I was about to do my professional qualification called CCNA. So I had to do 2 exams.
Right.
Okay, I did first. I studied the whole month of January, and I did the first part of February. And when I was about to do the second part, the whole corona wave hit, and everything stopped working. Right. Okay. So for people who don't know, it's just me and my brother at home.
Right.
Again, both my parents abroad.
Yeah.
Very lonely. Like just me in my room.
Right.
Pretty much like ran through my bandwidth. I mean, my data quota like in 2 days.
That's good.
Just Netflix.
Not a good
And also
system.
the SLT unlimited package wasn't there.
Alright.
Then I was like, okay, we were raking up SLT bills like crazy. So just Netflix, nothing else. Just Netflix. Didn't talk with anyone.
Right.
And this time I was going through a period, so this is quite bad. I was going through a period, I don't know, I wanted to say depression, but I was like, I was cutting off.
Depressive episode, definitely.
Yeah, depressive episode. Cutting ties with people like crazy, so I don't talk with any of my friends. I just wanted to be in my cave. I was like, don't talk to anyone. Because it made things easier also. Because the pandemic doesn't force you to go out.
Yeah.
To meet people and stuff like that. So, you know, you have a reason to stay here and not
Yeah,
talk.
exactly.
Okay, and it's like crazy. I mean, like, cut ties with everyone. People started calling me, I'll just not answer.
Yeah.
I permanently put my phone on do not disturb. Okay? And I just rarely speak to my parents, like, you know, like once in 1 week or twice in a week or something like that.
Right.
Okay, and my parents got freaked out and they thought I have some freaking depressive thing. It's like maybe I went through a depressive episode.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like,
you need to get us.
yeah, when you're like locked into yourself and you just want to go like trillion deeper into that, maybe some sort of
Bit of a spiral, I guess.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so spiral down. When I'll get back to why I say it was a good year, change for the good year. So still I'm living under my parents' providence. Like I'm 26, I am jobless. I don't have enough money to
Live on your own.
live on my own. So this is my parents' house. You basically pay for our food.
Yeah,
for
same,
everything.
same here.
Okay, so so my parents okay, so they gave me an ultimatum like get your life together or yeah, I'm gonna kick you out of the house. They didn't say what they were gonna do, but I assumed that they were gonna kick
They
me
were
out.
like, yeah.
It's there justified on me
Exactly,
kicking out of the
yeah.
house. Like, it's their house. Okay. So
I don't know if they would imagine. Yeah, I don't think they would have kicked you out of the house, but then
maybe not, but like it was crazy. Like my father like called me and said, "Okay, so I still haven't done my second part, and he had been paying like $10,000 every month for the course that I've been following, so I didn't do anything about it. Also,
but now you finished it.
I finished it. I
Yeah,
finished it. Yeah.
now as in March, April.
Yeah, I think in June I passed out.
June you finished it. Okay.
Okay, so it was like around April. My father called me up, gave me an ultimatum saying, okay, get your life together or I'm going to do something. And I told this to your mom and your mom started crying what I'm going to do.
Right.
So I still don't know what he was going to do, but probably think they would have kicked me out of the house.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an assumption. Yeah. Very legible assumption.
Yeah, so dude, like your mom's crying, this is what your father's going to do. Obviously, you're going to get kicked out of the house, right?
Possibly. Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable to assume.
Yeah,
that,
it
no?
definitely is. It's definitely.
And they are 100%.
Very responsible. Yes.
Well, it's 100% within their rights to
Yeah.
it also. Okay, so let's say so I was like freaked out. So like I said, I wrote him an email. It's like begging. So I told him what was going on. I was like,
Yeah.
I told everything. So like I told on the previous episode, so while I was going through a depressive process on my porn addiction, so because of that, my life was spiraling down.
Right.
down,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So I told this to my dad. Okay, I am struggling with porn and I have a depressive episode going on. Okay, and he said, "Get your life shit back." Okay, so he gave me 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks study, pass your exam, and after that we can sort things out. So
Yeah.
I did. By God's grace, I was able to pass out.
Yeah.
And after that, the search for jobs began.
Right. The big
Okay, so like pandemic, I was like applying left and
worst
right.
time to be applying. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Worst time to quit my job also. I was
Yeah.
like, I thought like no one knew like oh no, China knew it was gonna be a pandemic right
Yeah. Until we actually got into it, I guess nobody really assumed things would turn out this way. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange.
There are some people who thinks this is the hoax, but okay,
Yeah.
I spoke with this person for career guidance. Okay, he's a legend. He works in Singapore.
Right.
Okay, he works from some big satellite company. He legit thinks Corona is a hoax. He was like,
There's enough and more people who think that. This is very
just
scary.
stupid.
It definitely stupid, but scary for people thinking that way. Just the ignoring.
But with
science
instances in
and-
Sri Lanka, and that's the laws been enforced that you have to wear a
Yeah.
mask, you
Yeah.
have to sanitize yourself, your temperature checked and stuff like that.
That is very good.
This is a sense.
Government taking a strong step on things, yeah, based on science, based on legible like evidence, yes, make that decision for the people, and that's okay, and enforce it. Make sure the law is enforced. So it's not fluid. Law can never be fluid, and everyone comes under the law. Doesn't matter which status or politicians or anybody. Everybody comes under the law, and that's where I think this country has never done that right ever. Because the law is very fluctuating and fluid for people, and certain people come under the law and certain people don't, and whenever people see profit in that law, then they want that law to happen. That's really not how it's supposed to be. If it's a law, then everybody comes under it and it's enforced all the time.
Yeah. So coming back, so started searching for jobs. Was going crazy, left and right. I just applied for 10-15 places.
Did you ever hear back from them?
I heard back from one.
Very annoying things about companies. They never reply back or never say you don't have the job even. Like
I had the initial interview. That was weird. I had the initial interview, they said we'll get back to you by Friday. Like 2 weeks back, the same person called me back again. Hey, we want to have another interview with again
Right.
with another preliminary. Okay,
Okay.
I already had a preliminary, so I was like
Right.
confused about that. Then nothing. That was about worked out. Went to another company. Like went to two interviews. That was nothing through top jobs. It's one was from top jobs. Another through my personal contact I got.
And no facial publicity for
Yeah.
top jobs.
So
You're not getting paid for it.
yeah, no. So they said they'll call me back. They had to figure something out. Then finally, I ended up with another contact I went through, and I was selected as an intern. So this is my third time. So I have in my life, I've joined three
Third
companies.
time as intern.
All three companies has interns. Okay, so it sucked. It hurt my ego back.
Going back down again.
But I think it's a big company, so I think it's obviously gonna be betterment for my career if I stick this through and I prove myself and they make me permanent. So it'll be good for my career in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but throughout, so after this whole pandemic thing happened, all my depressive, now the pandemic is still going on. So after this whole depressive episode happened, like what has really been going on? I told you about this also. What's going on my mind is setting priorities, and one of those priorities is like one thing that is like being spoken about again and again is trusting in Lord, trusting in God that He has a plan for you, right? Yeah, like trusting in His
It's very hard when you don't see it
happen and say like, don't worry, your life is in
Yeah.
control. I know people who don't believe in God, is like really hard for them to accept, and they
No, you just assume it's hard. You don't know until you actually talk to someone.
yeah, okay, maybe for
You
us,
don't know.
yeah, to let go control of your
Yeah.
life and
Yeah.
say, okay, that is someone else. I
It's
think
very
that's
hard.
very freaky.
Very hard.
Yeah, very very hard, and it's like okay, I
You want to stay in control, definitely.
Okay, so like so that's been all we speak about. Don't worry about yourself. Your life is in my hands, and I have a plan for you. And according to my time, things will happen. So
Right.
that has been taken back. It's like for a whole month.
Yeah.
Like the 4 services and Sunday services that I went.
Yeah.
So they had a period they left on lockdown and they had Sunday services.
Because, with limited numbers.
Numbers with like quarantine spaces and stuff. So all the 4 weeks that I went is like the same thing that is very trust in him.
Right.
Yeah. And like when you hear four things and everything, think that's something that God is speaking to you.
One more than Peter.
So that has been like throughout my life. It's like trust in Christ's kingship over your life.
Right.
So Christ is your king, and a good king would not let their people suffer, right? So that's just been, but letting go of the control and not worrying, it's been very hard because it's only human to assume the worst, right? Like it's like, I don't see anything, I don't know the future.
Yeah.
But know God, God knows the future, right?
Yeah, definitely strange. Yeah.
Strange, yeah. So overall, I would say, like I said, this year was actually a turning point, so because I'd never been spoken to like this before, also by God. Right. So to shift my focus, because now I'm desperate. Dude. I'm 26. Right. Okay, I look at my friends around like. Yeah, I think you're on the same boat too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like when we look at the friends, they are like one friend is married, like one friend is like doing his stuff, like
really good work. Yeah,
yeah. So like all of our friends are like succeeding in life, growing in life, and we are like, okay, oh, what's happening? You're like, yeah. So it's like but that positiveness comes out of your view through the Bible, right? How God makes you view the world.
For certain people, but
not for everyone. It's for certain people. This is, I know, like we told on the first episode, we are Christian, so our views are gonna be very Christian view, very oriented.
Trying to keep it as much PC as possible, but no more.
Then we are censoring ourselves.
Yeah.
No, we believe this to be true. So
Yeah. So this is our
platform.
truth. Yeah.
So this is our truth. If you want to hear about it, you can hear. If you don't want to, that's
Yeah.
up to you. This is just us talking and like having a relationship. But the crazy enough that when we thought like
Building a friendship. I know.
we have grown more
As friends.
as friends than we like
Never before. I never.
crazy, no?
Yeah.
Like how long have we known you? 2013? Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew at school, but
Beyond that.
beyond that, when we joined LD, we continued.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, it's been a long time.
Yeah. 2013, that's like
Yeah.
8 years. Wow. It's almost 2 years to decade.
Nice.
Nice. Actually, nice indeed.
So yeah, that's a good episode, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good episode. So, overall review,
2020.
good. I think personally it was good.
1 year for you.
Maybe
Best year
most
ever?
life changing. Yeah, maybe I think life changing for the like for the whole world. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe like you said,
I don't know.
privileged enough to have food in the table,
Exactly.
to
House.
eat, to live in a house, to like have food and not starve. Like
Exactly.
it's crazy.
Hard. It's really hard for people out there. So,
And so really lucky and privileged and blessed. Yeah. So overall, 2020 was a change, like you said, a life-changing year for the betterment. So no, still it's on the view. I like the horizon is still not clear.
Yeah.
Like we are still looking forward
Figuring things
to
out. I know.
this plan that it's
That we
there.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good year.
Good year. Yeah. 2020 has been good. Definitely good.
I know, like lots of people they think it
Most
was
of-
sucky.
A lot of extroverts struggle staying indoors for
Oh.
sure. I've met enough and more people who complain about staying indoors because they are literally extroverts who positively charge when they are around people.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people, so yeah.
I don't know whether I'm an extrovert or introvert,
Mm.
but I am really extroverted, like with my friends, people who I know.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can be fun if I want. to.
Right.
If I like with people who don't know, people think I'm like one frightful. Like that's the thing.
Right? How you project yourself, yeah.
Like you don't want to speak, but that's how you come on. You're not frightful, or you're not egotistical.
That's just extroverted and
Shy.
shy.
And I was like, this dude is pride in it.
Yeah.
It's like
I think, yeah, I tend more towards like always telling my view, but then it depends on the people for sure. Yeah. If I definitely know you, then I'm gonna say it out loud very fast. Sometimes come off irrational. But then if I don't know you, I'll be probably a bit more nicer to you. I'll probably be a bit nicer to people I don't know.
if that makes sense. Right? And if you know the person and you're not nice, then you know how bad it's gonna. That depends on how much you value him.
Exactly.
If you know him well and
The people.
the thing, and you scold him, he's obviously gonna be a friend. So it's like it depends on people. How come we came to this conversation? I don't
I have
know.
no idea. We're still reviewing 2020.
2020.
I need to
Okay.
start this episode now.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our episode.
Of review 2020.
See you next time. Bye.